Hey everyone, how's it going? My name is Richard Moglen. Welcome back to another weekly watch list video sponsored by MarketSmith. And today I thought I'd share kind of 15 names that I'm watching that are showing something in terms of relative strength, meaning that even though the market is pulling back, they're holding up pretty well and are potential basketballs underwater. So we'll quickly go through the charts in MarketSmith. And first things first, we've got ABNB or Airbnb. You can see not the greatest growth numbers here in terms of earnings, sales, and after-tax margins. And it's not supposed to be profitable within the next 2 years. The IB ratings are pretty poor. The overall composite is only a 46, but you already have 460 funds invested into this stock, this recent IPO, and you also have 5 high-quality funds in there as well. So this is very, very important here, and to me, that kind of replaces the need for extremely strong earnings, sales, and margins. And look at the chart. This is kind of really why it's showing RS. It's holding above the 21 EMA and actually had a very positive day on this Friday, while the overall market here, you can see the SPX is declining from its all-time highs. So this is holding up very, very well above the 200 mark and definitely one to watch once the overall uptrend resumes. Moving on, we've got Apps, Digital Turbine Inc., and you can see excellent growth numbers in terms of earnings, sales, margins, great estimates for 2021 and 2022. Very strong growth in fund ownership and one high quality fund in there as well. And like ABNB, it had a very strong Friday and is holding above that 21 EMA and also had a very strong upside reversal bar on that Tuesday. So this is very, very strong. Overall RS rating is 99. Moving on, we've got CELH, and you can see excellent growth in terms of earnings, sales, and margins the past 3 quarters. The estimates for 2021 are actually down at 9%, but it's supposed to be up 35% in 2022. The overall composite is a 93. You've got decent growth in fund ownership. You can see actually dipped into 2019, but now has picked back up. And you've got one high quality fund investing into this stock. And overall, it's holding above all those key moving averages very strongly above the 21 EMA and 50 SMA, and has moved out of a stage 3 consolidation and is now up 42% in 51 days. Moving on, we've got DKNG, which I've talked about a couple times here, but overall it's holding its shape very, very well given the market weakness. And you can see very strong sales growth and just reported earnings on this past Friday. Earnings weren't strong, but revenue growth was very, very good. And that's why it had a very positive day on this Friday. Overall, it's not supposed to be profitable within the next 2 years, but you can see excellent growth in fund ownership and 5 high quality funds in there as well. And it's very, very close to all-time highs, which is significant given this market correction. And once again, you have a huge upside reversal bar on this past Tuesday. Moving on, we've got HubSpot, and you can see down here, not the strongest growth in terms of earnings, sales, and margins, but there is growth there, and sales are up 35% this most recent quarter. And you can see the estimates for earnings in 2021 are up 18%, and are supposed to be up 42% in 2022. Composite rating is a 93, decent growth in fund ownership, and 5 high-quality funds in there as well. And as for the chart, you can see it gapped up from a stage 1 consolidation, and is holding this gap very, very well given the market conditions. And you can see that if we draw a line right at that close, it doesn't like to close below that. And you could kind of play off this level once the overall market resumes the uptrend. Next up, we've got INMO, and this is one that a lot of us played during its kind of IPO run days, but now it's had a longer term consolidation if we go to a weekly, and now is right at all-time highs and holding very strongly given the market weakness. So overall, decent growth in earnings and sales the past few quarters. Last quarter earnings up 104%, sales up 60%, and after-tax margins up 53% as well. The estimates aren't super strong for 2021 and 2022, although they are up. Overall comms rating is very good at 98. Nice growth in fund ownership and one high-quality fund in there as well. As for the chart, this is excellent, great tight action during this market weakness. Moving on, we've got PENN Gaming, and you can see excellent growth the past 2 quarters. And you can see it's supposed to be profitable in 2021 and increase 43% in terms of annual earnings in 2022. The overall composite rating is an 89, a nice growth in fund ownership and 5 high quality funds in there as well. And as for the chart, you can see it's holding that 21 EMA, which is definitely a sign of strength within this kind of weak market overall, and has moved up 51% from the stage 2 consolidation in 55 days and is holding up really well within this kind of tight area right here. And overall, the RS rating is pretty strong at 96, and the RS line is right near all-time highs. Moving on, we've got Pinterest, one of the many social media companies that are holding up very, very well. You can see great growth in earnings the past 2 quarters, and you've also got great estimates for 2021, up over 100%, and in 2022, a further 46% with the revisions up as well. The composite rating is a 99, great growth in fund ownership, and 5 high-quality funds as well. And as for chart, it's holding this 80 mark very strongly. Nice upside reversal action on this Tuesday, and Friday it reclaimed that after moving down. And overall, the RS rating is a 96, and the RS line is right near all-time highs. Moving on, we've got Snap, another social media company. Great earnings and sales the past 2 quarters. It's not supposed to be profitable within the next 2 years, but the overall composite rating is a very strong 98. And looking at the fund ownership, it's basically multiplied by 10 over the past 2 years, and you've got 4 high-quality funds in there as well. And as with many of these stocks, you can see it's holding that 21 EMA very sharply. Great bullish outside day on actually this day, as well as this one, amid a lot of market volatility and weakness. And overall, the RS line is right near all-time highs, and the RS rating is a very strong 97. Moving on, we've got SONO, which is trending beautifully above those key moving averages after these 2 earnings gap ups. Very strong earnings and sales growth the past 2 quarters. In 2021, it's just supposed to be profitable and supposed to increase 20% in terms of annual EPS in 2022. The overall composite rating is a 98, a nice growth in fund ownership, and 1 high-quality fund in there as well. And looking at the RS line, it's right near all-time highs, and the overall RS rating is a very strong 96. Next up, we've got Twitter, another social media company, and you can see nice earnings this past quarter. They're up 52%, sales up 28%, and margins up 24.3%. In 2021, it's just supposed to be profitable and supposed to increase 31% in 2022 with the revisions up as well. And the composite rating is a 97. Looking at the fund ownership, there's a gradual increase here, and you've got 2 high-quality funds investing as well. And as for the chart, you can see it's moved up from this stage 1B, had a nice gap up here on earnings, and now is holding above this gap very well, and is well above the 21 EMA, even during this market weakness. And this bar isn't great here. It closed right at the lows, but we had a nice inside day on this Friday. Moving on, we've got WIX, and you can see decent sales growth the past few quarters, but it's not yet profitable, and it's not supposed to be in 2021 or in 2022. And overall, the composite rating is very poor at 51. You've got a gradual increase in fund ownership and 3 high-quality funds in there as well. However, it was able to break out of a longer-term base amid this market weakness, which is definitely a sign of RS, and is holding this pivot very strongly and had a nice upside reversal action on this past Tuesday. And moving on, we've got Zebra Technologies Corp, and you can see not the greatest growth numbers here, and you can see the estimates for 2021 are up 20% and a further 10% in 2022, but the revisions are down. The composite rating is a 95, and you've got a nice increase in fund ownership and 1 high-quality fund, Fidelity, in there as well. And looking at the chart, you can see it's trending beautifully above those key moving averages and has held this gap up on earnings very well, and is right near 500 even during this market weakness. Moving on, we've got Zoom Infotech, and you can see great growth in terms of earnings, sales, and margins the past 3 quarters. Great estimates for 2021 and 2022. A strong composite rating at 93, nice growth in fund ownership, and 3 high-quality funds in there as well. And as for the chart, you can see it broke out of the stage 1 cup and is just below the pivot now. On this last Friday, it is kind of wide and loose here, but relatively it's showing RS during this market weakness. And lastly, we've got Celsius Holdings, CELH. You can see great growth in terms of earnings and sales the past 2 quarters. In 2020, the estimates are actually supposed to be down 25%, but they're supposed to be back up in 2021, up 17%. The overall composite rating is an 88. Nice growth in fund ownership, but you don't have any high-quality funds investing into this stock. And overall, if you look at the chart, it's holding the 50 SMA and right near the 21 EMA as well. I would like to see it retake this 60 mark and eventually challenge these all-time highs once the overall uptrend resumes. So these are 15 of my kind of top ideas if we do kind of resume a strong uptrend next week. And obviously, I will wait for a strong low-risk entry where I can manage my risk very, very well. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, please go ahead and leave a like down below and subscribe if you are new, and let me know down below in the comments what other stocks I missed that I should add to this RS list. So I hope you guys have a great rest of your weekend, and I'll see you guys in future videos.